Oh, oh, oh. Rich gang. They're way too rich, gang. Yo, what's going on, guys? It's your boy Krod7435. We back at it once again. I wanted to basically say fuck the Golden State Warriors and fuck the Cleveland Cavaliers. That game was fucking horrible. Nah, just kidding. That game was pretty competitive. Yeah, much respect out to Kevin Durant. He actually played pretty well. I think he had like 32 or 33 points. Like, it's kind of crazy of how we've seen it in Game 3. It was a really tough game. I really thought that Golden State was going to get their asses handed to them. But luckily Kevin Durant, he actually made like the 7-point comeback when Cleveland was up by 7 in the late 4th. And yeah, that's basically what happened. You know, there was just a lot of crazy stuff going on. And I think that, like, personally, you know, there was a lot of, you know, controversy, like basically coming into the very end. And like there was just like a lot going on, you know, like a lot of people didn't realize that, but I knew it from like the very how should I say it, like basically, because I knew it from like the very beginning, like that there was more to come. But then on top of that, it had like a crazy just more of like a crazy ending type game where you just didn't really know what was going on. And I mean, yes, I really do respect the fact that Cleveland that Cleveland had a ton of good plays, but you know, then again, it's like, you know, that's basically what got to them. You know, it was their defense, and you know, Golden State just came through. And I think that, you know, with that being said, it kind of speaks in their character, because it comes to show that that most of these players, they have like a really crazy way of putting themselves into this, you know, oh wow, how should I say it? Like putting themselves into this more like a messed up way of doing things. And I kind of find it pretty funny because it's like when you look at the Cleveland Cavaliers, you know, we just didn't really realize how much more craziness that was within their play style tonight. And you know, yes, I really do understand that Cleveland, they did have like a bit of you know, like three-pointer struggle, but I think that with LeBron playing to the best of his quality, like LeBron and Kyrie, I think they ended up with 38 points or something like that. Correct me if I'm wrong, but no, I really do respect the fact that they actually, you know, went out and did their thing. But then on top of that, it's just something that I just I really didn't see, because I you know, actually thought like, hey, Cleveland, they were probably going to win. They weren't really going to do too much, and more so actually come through. And then yeah, bam, you know, Cleveland came through. And I think it's just kind of funny because it's just we kind of just seen it, you know, from like the very beginning. And I think it's how should I say it? It's more of a competition type mentality. And what's kind of funny is that, you know, we just never expected the Cavs to lose that that type of mentality coming to the late game, and then bam, they just got their asses handed to them. And I think that it's kind of funny because you know, like a lot of people, they were just really pissed off. You know, I could definitely, you know, tell you right now, they're probably really angry of the fact that, you know, they're not getting what they wanted. And yeah, that's what happens when you know, grow cocky to really think that Cleveland was just going to come out there and win. But no, like these motherfuckers took your ass down. So, you know, with you guys doing that, to really think that you guys had, you know, this win, you guys really didn't win it, because Like yes, I understand. Like a lot of people like would probably bash me to say, "Oh, you're a GSW fan." Fuck no, and fuck the Warriors, and fuck the Cleveland Cavaliers. But if you guys really want to talk, actual how should I say it? Like actual game, like game plays. Like the Warriors were actually playing like a legendary team. See now, many people that don't understand of how the Warriors are, they're more of a offensive barrier team, and they don't really have too much to lose on because they have like a lot more to go into like how should I say it? Go into this type of slow offense, and then it speeds up a little bit whenever you get in there. But it's like when you really look at like the Warriors, they're a very good team, and I'm not gonna blame them. But the Warriors, they actually played better on offense than defense, and their defense really did not show out, but the offense really came through to come after the Cleveland Cavaliers, and the Cavs were really struggling with the GSW trying to get them under their skin, and yeah, that's basically what happened. It was a pretty sad ending, but I mean, to me, I was just like, wow, that was kind of funny because we just didn't really see that coming. But then again, the Warriors, they had their like moments of coming back. So with that being said, we don't really understand of how basketball games come out to be played, because you never know how these teams will ever come out. Because Cleveland, they came out strong. GSW came out strong. Kevin Durant had like probably well over 30, like probably 35 points, I want to say. And LeBron and Kyrie, they had probably close to 40, which was probably up to 38 or 39. But what do I want to see out of the Cavaliers for this upcoming next year, and what changes that they really do need to make? And I think it's more of their bench. Their bench has been pretty weak over these last couple of years, and I think that due to the coherence of measure that LeBron James is coming to his, not to his ending, but he's LeBron is getting a little bit old, and with that being said, LeBron, he has a lot of good redemption to his own, I guess, his journey. And it's really funny that when people talk about LeBron James, people just don't realize, like, this is the older version of him. We're not seeing too much of, hey, this is me, LeBron James, but I am, the type of guy to be respected for it, because me as a LeBron, I deserve to get this respect, because I'm basically the king. I run most of my finals, and I think that personally, like that. Oh wow! With that being said, it just comes to show how much blindness people carry to say that LeBron is the best player in the world. But it's like, you just seen it, like just out of tonight. He's not really, like, yes, he's a great player. Let's not get it twisted. But I know that like just by seeing the caliber of talent that LeBron goes through, up against the Golden State Warriors, we're probably seeing lesser drive out of like LeBron, because he's not really going back out there and actually doing his thing, and he's just actually coming out with these good games because he's actually been doing good in the playoffs. But somehow, out of the whole magical, Believeland, to think that believing ever gets you anywhere, but no, you get taken down by a team in which Kevin Durant said, "Yo, they blessed us tonight." But yeah, that'd be kind of funny. I put that on my YouTube channel. But no, KD, he really thought that his faith was coming to him. And Kevin, there's a thing called logic, and you logically played well. You actually came out a lot better than LeBron, and I guess that due to your perseverance and your level of not giving up, then Kevin, you worked fucking hard for that game. You just didn't go back to church and then pray to say, "Hey, God, can you please help me to try to win this fucking game?" Durant, look, man, or look, nigga, because I like you and all, and you are my nigga, But nigga, you are on the fucking team that really didn't need you in this free agency to get you. So, you know, to be honest, you could have just done everything better without playing with a team that was going to screw you over. See, now, granted to the Warriors of giving you a spot, but I mean, you guys really scammed out Durant, and this is why I fucking hate the Warriors, because, you know, yes, respect to Steve Kerr, he will be the all-time legend that I will ever call him, a true, awesome, you know, white man can't jump volume 3 like addition, but no, he can fucking jump, and he is fucking white, and he either looks British, German, or Swedish, but I don't care about his race. I just care that he's a great guy, and I like him, and I grew up like watching him back in like the 90s. Well, I was like about I was like about in like my 4 or 3 years old when I first watched the Chicago Bulls. But like obviously when I got older and I was able to access, you know, through the internet, yeah, that's when I actually looked at Chicago and I became a diehard fan because, you know, I really love Chicago, and I just like, you know, the atmosphere of how much, you know, craziness that like the Bulls had to go through. But it's like that was true competition. See, now let's talk about LeBron's era. Let's talk about all the times that LeBron could have won those rings up against the San Antonio Spurs, up against the fucking ass, but lucky shit Boston Celtics. Yeah, fuck you, Jeff. But he's coming back to America soon. I cannot wait. But no, Jeff, he's a really big time fan, so I respect out of the culture of how basketball is played in America, but like basically the evolution of our cultural basketball, you know, community has mostly been coming from the Los Angeles Lakers and basically the Boston Celtics, and then a little bit from the San Antonio Spurs. See, now out of that whole era of dynasty where you've been seeing the greatest players come out, Magic Johnson, James Worthy, Vince Carter, you have every single legend. This is literally why we fucking play as a basketball group and as a nation, to call ourselves good basketball players. See, now not everybody is fit for the NBA, but I do know that when we play hard as Americans, we go out hard. But I'm not saying that just to become a nationalist. Fuck that shit. But when you look at it with Durant, there is something in him that made me think, like, you know what? Yeah, because I've been talking too much shit with him. And yes, I don't fucking like him at times, but, you know, that doesn't stop me from actually trying to, you know, cohesively understand why he wants to win. And yes, Durant, he has so much hate on him. He doesn't give a fuck. And yes, Durant did his best to shut down every hater, but I mean, look, put it out here onto the bright side. But I just really do think that with Durant, you know, taking his will to fight and yeah, basically not have to put up with anybody, you know, that like, oh wow, that was just something that he actually took to his own to his own courage, and he managed, yeah, to basically win. But I would definitely like to see with Durant, if he does win this title, which I'd be happy for him, because you know what, it's been like basically Durant's going through what LeBron went through. He had a terrible startup in his own career by playing with the most shittiest fucking team, which was the Seattle Supersonics, which the NBA later on decided to, well, that following year decided to change from them to the Oklahoma City Thunder. Durant had to stick with a horrible team. But later on coming in time, within a 2-year span, the Oklahoma City Thunder were still able to get James Harden and Russell Westbrook and Serge Ibaka, and they got other talent. I want to say, shit, who was that other guy that played with them? Eric, damn, I forgot his name, but he was a good point guard for the Thunder, which I think he just basically disappeared. I had no clue on where he was, but No, the Thunder, they had a really good squad. Now just imagine if Kevin Durant had won his very first title at the start of his career, when he was a rookie. It would have been shocking the whole fucking crowd to say that no rookie in the NBA could win a NBA championship. But now, with history devising itself to say, hey, you are a rookie, but the stars are now taking over to win those titles, so you didn't really win the title, but, you know, it's still yours because you're still a rook. But, I mean, the level of capacity on good players running crappy teams, it just comes to show how much basketball has grown and has basically evolved to say, hey, you know what, we have very good talent, and us humans, you know, trying to understand the way of life in basketball is basically in the form, the form of motion to say that we need to be prioritizing our plays better. We have to be more quick on the ball. We have to understand, hey, just because I drive to the rim doesn't mean I could just put it back up. No, there's like a lot of comparable plays that a lot of people have gotten themselves into, and I mean, hey man, like there's so much to learn out of how basketball is played. But if I really want to call myself a true basketball player, I'm just gonna basically keep going and just try to play to the best of my ability. See now, what is like the new ways of basically what is like the new plan for Cleveland? Could there be a possible comeback in this whole series? We don't know, but we do know that it's most likely that Cleveland will lose these finals, and I can't really see a comeback spark up unless LeBron and Kyrie actually get serious on these plays and actually know that there's more to basketball than just accepting a finals loss, and then what, Kyrie's never gonna win a championship, and then LeBron he could just reconsider not being in Cleveland no more, which I think he's gonna be there forever, because I think he did say to the media that he is willing to be in Cleveland, but basically he just doesn't want to leave because he actually cares about Cleveland, he cares about the team, and he has a lot of connections with his teammates. And I mean, it's good that that Cleveland is doing their best to maintain within the finals, but Golden State, they just had a bunch of good talent coming into their team, and now that we're seeing it with Durant and Curry, I mean, Curry, he wasn't even talking about the MVP race. So with that being said, it just comes to show how weak the Warriors talk about them is not really that powerful. And I mean, Curry just basically shocked us all just to show who the real MVP is. But I mean, personally, if we really wanted to see who was going to be a good Finals MVP for the series, I probably would give it to Durant, just because Durant, yes, everybody's calling him a bitch, everybody's calling him like a fucking faggot, they're calling him every single name out of the book, but coming from these numbers that I have been seeing from most of the officials that rank up his numbers of what he's got, that I say that is actually pretty beneficial, that Kevin Durant had actually done his work. And most of those points, yes, I will confess it, because Kevin Durant has basically cheated his way through to win these finals. But I mean, most of those points have been mostly 3-pointers. Kevin, he's been driving in the series, driving to the rim throughout these playoff series, but with the level of compassionate basketball needs to be respected, in a manner to play with heart and don't let up. And I'm happy that Durant, he's basically came to his senses that, hey, LeBron, he's really trying to maintain himself in these finals history. So Durant just wants to break that curse to say, hey, I don't like coming in second. And I mean, this is probably what's going to spark a dynasty, you know, win a championship ring, you know, championship ring, like a pattern, I guess, because Durant might win more than one ring. We don't know where he's going to be in the next few years, but, you know, we will say that Durant has basically done himself a good job on maintaining, on maintaining his way of being a good player. And I mean, we just have so much, you know, to really look back on. Because, you know, if the Warriors actually do win, I guess this is a redemption year to their crappy record, or basically to their good record that they just blew off in the NBA Finals of last year. So, I mean, you know, Durant, he has definitely proved himself a lot, and there's really nothing that he can be, you know, more, like, how should I say it, any more, like, embarrassed of, because he's actually doing something that he really does enjoy as a, oh yeah, well, for the Golden State Warriors. And I think it's just kind of funny because the Warriors are just actually playing more of a defensive, you know, defensive shoot first type play style, and you know, they actually barrier a lot of tough shots that Cleveland is trying to do. And I mean, LeBron, he definitely came out involved. So I mean, I can't be hating on LeBron. He has to do everything by himself. But I mean, you know, will we ever see a perfect Cleveland team? Probably not. But if anything, you know, the Cleveland Cavaliers are really trying to, you know, manage, you know, themselves, you know, within these next few years to dominate with the free agency. And I think that it's kind of funny because lots of people out of the Cleveland Cavaliers really do want to say that possibly Dwayne Wade or CP3 might come over, and I would like to put some insight on that because I think that it would be very interesting to understand like the level of, like, basically the level of content that Cleveland is trying to, you know, put onto their roster. And I mean, it's like yes, it's good and all to say that Cleveland is a great team, but you know, there's just so much, there's basically so much to do because, you know, we see, you know, that Cleveland could be at risk of basically losing their whole franchise if these players, you know, really do want to stay, or there's going to become a huge trading, you know, drama. And then, you know, obviously with LeBron trying to win more rings, in which, you know, like, I understand why LeBron wants to do that. He's trying to break records. He's trying to win more rings. He's trying to look more better, you know, on the camera. But I mean, bro, 3 rings to me, you know, I probably say that's good because like you basically, you know, came to that level of being like a how should I say it? Like you basically came to a level of being a probably a Isaiah Thomas or probably, you know, probably a Dennis Rodman. Oh wow, but there's not that much more left to do other than try to beat a record in which, you know, Michael Jordan is at 6 rings and you're at 3. But see, if we can see the comeback, then LeBron has 2 more years and then he could tie up with Jordan. But if LeBron has to do another 3 or 4 more years, then that's just going to be crazy because we're not really going to see, you know, too much of this, you know, oh, Cleveland this and, you know, Rockets that. Like, there's going to be a lot of teams that are willing to put themselves, you know, to the line to battle Cleveland. And I think that, you know, the only teams that could do that could probably be like the Knicks, which I only say that because Kristaps Porzingis can make a really big change unless he is getting traded and he does not like New York and Melo is going to fucking stay. Or you can see it from the Charlotte Hornets because the Hornets, they seem to give Cleveland a bit of trouble. Or we could see it from the Washington, like the Washington Wizards, and those guys, you know, they're really good. Like, we know that John Wall is a very compassionate player, and you know that would just really be a all-out bloody brawl because, you know, LeBron and John Wall, you know, they hate each other, you know, when it's on the court, but I mean, you know, outside of the court, they're really good and well known to their own, like, abilities. And I mean, it's just kind of funny because, you know, everybody thinks that, you know, LeBron James has no weaknesses. Oh no, he has, you know, a ton of weaknesses, but rarely anybody talks about who could really take him down. And I mean, Curry has given him trouble, and we all know how Curry is. You know, when he actually put his own, you know, skills like to the test up against like LeBron James. And I mean, personally, with LeBron, you know, he's not really, you know, getting that type of exposure, you know, to win anyway. So, you know, like putting that into perspective, you know, GSW, they have probably one of the, like, probably good rosters to defy a lot of, like how should I say it? To defy like a lot of haters, I guess. But I really don't think that they could last forever too, because Curry said, hey, you know, in my free agency, I would probably consider, you know, going to Miami or places like Chicago, which I would love for him to go to Chicago. But if he's going to test out that free agency, then so be it. But if he doesn't want to stay, and let's just say hypothetically Cleveland wins these, you know, like this final series, then I'd say that is very crazy. And then Curry, he would have to just go through, you know, more craziness, you know, with another team if it doesn't work out. But I would like for him to go to another team. I'd like for him to test out more drama with everybody. And I actually was thinking that what if Durant went back to Oklahoma City, you know, after he's probably, you know, basically fulfilled his own destiny to win. But yeah, to conclude this, I really do think that, you know, GSW and, you know, obviously with Durant, it's going to be a crazy, you know, experience to understand how these teams get down. And yeah, you know, one last thing, if the Warriors do win, congrats to Kevin Durant. You're still a bitch ass nigga, but nah, like you should really probably go back to OKC if everything is all said and done. But that's my little suggestion, advice. But I don't really think that Durant is gonna leave until GSW has actually fulfilled him, you know, like a bit more. So yeah, I will catch you guys soon, and I'll see you guys right up in the next one. Peace.